So I have a confession to make. I have a fear, very serious fear of water, not taking a shower type of water, not the rain, not getting in a swimming pool up to my waist or even up to my chest, but rather in the ocean. I get pretty scared. I get very scared, I'm not gonna lie. So in my book, 31 Days to Become a Better Man, chapter 18 is all about that. I go deep into the conversation about an incident that happened to me. In fact, there's more to it than just one incident. Starting at a young age, I came here on a boat from Cuba, and it was a 12-hour trip in a rickety old boat, way overpacked with people, and 4 of those hours were spent in a really rough storm. And that's traumatized me. I remember that trip very well. And even though in the moment I was just more confused than anything else, as an adult, when I remember it, it's scary to think, no life jacket, rough seas, we could have been tipped over like nothing and dropped in the bottom of the ocean. So those type of things have stayed in my head. And in my book, I talk about conquering your fears and beating them. And I've helped a lot of people work through certain things. And I've realized that I've tackled small parts of my fear. You know, treading water in the deep end of my pool to work on it. But I made a decision 2 days ago to sign up for getting scuba certified, and not in a pool or anything like that. This is open water, real diving. It might not be 100 feet deep of water, but it's deep enough, 30, 40, 50 feet. I don't know how deep we're gonna go. So within the next 2 weeks, I have to do my pre-work online, which I've been doing on the computer. And I got a bunch of chapters to go through, some basic knowledge, and then I got to do a full day in the classroom next weekend, and then a half day. I think we're going to do that in a pool, and then the next day is a really scary one. That third one is actually going into the ocean and jumping off a boat. I live in South Florida, so you see divers all the time. In fact, yesterday I canoed with my kids to a small island, and just canoeing there, I'm just thinking, how deep is this water? What's under there? And when we got to that island and we're hanging out on that little beach, I saw divers in the distance and my heart started racing. So maybe that's a sign that I'm going in the right direction. I want to do those things that really scare me. And I think this is the thing I'm most fearful of. So I hope you'll join me on this journey, and we'll see what happens. All right, still at it. Next week at this time, I'll be on my second of 3 days. I think by that time we'll be in the pool. And I'm, you see here, doing all the pre-work. It's quite a bit, including a big old application. When I watch the videos on the learning that I'm doing online, I get a little nervous because I see them diving, and however, I see them doing it, they look so calm and casual, and then I think, well, okay, it's not going to be that bad. But then when I let my imagination just run wild, I got to tell you, every night since I signed up, I've woken up to a thought of being underwater and diving. It's a little scary, not gonna lie. All right, I'll keep plugging away. We'll see how it goes.
Having great friends, like my friend Kevin. Let's go! We're at his ranch. He's letting me use the pool, but he's teaching me, and he's letting me borrow all his equipment. So far, I've been learning some basics and feeling comfortable. And I feel more comfortable now breathing through my mouth, which I thought I never would because I'm not a mouth breather, and being underwater. So I'm going to give it a little test run here. So that does it. Super appreciative to Kevin for letting me do this. Thank you, Kevin. Now he's back there washing that. I should probably go help him. All right, feeling a little bit better to at least have practiced. I don't know if you saw when I was down there, I removed the mouthpiece in case
practicing in case it ever got knocked out of my mouth. Grab the secondary one, got to blow the air out of it, water out of it to be able to breathe, and then switch it back. Gotta be honest, when I was down there doing that got me a little nervous. And just imagining if I was deep in the water, out in the ocean, you have to do it or you'll die. So those are the thoughts that are running through my head. But little by little, practice makes better. All right. I've been at this for a couple of hours now, doing the final exam for the online portion before going to the school for starting the diving. I just hit the final answer and I'm going to submit it. It was 66 questions. Took me forever. The quizzes all had to be on all the 14 or 15 chapters had to be 100% accurate. I think this one lets you miss a few, but 60 something. Once you submit, here we go. I'm submitting it and please say passed. Congratulations on completing the e-course. All right, so ready to go. Tomorrow morning, I had to have this done on time because tomorrow morning is, I think, a full day in the class. I'll be there at 9 o'clock. We'll see how it goes. Okay, it is Saturday morning and I am on my way to the class, and something changed in my mind yesterday along this process. And it's that, first of all, I saw this as scary and I described myself as nervous along the way. Like every time I thought about going in deep water, because that's my biggest fear, I would just sum it up as, man, I'm really nervous about that. I'm scared about it. And I'm starting to improve that process, and it's practicing what I preach, which is the same feeling that you feel when you're nervous. It's the same as excited. What is it? It's butterflies in your stomach. It's your mind racing. It's your heart racing. Yeah, that's the same word, same symptoms as excited. So I am now saying to myself, yeah, I'm really excited about this. And now I don't feel bad. I feel good. It's a good word. Excited is a good word because something good is coming from it. Nervous, scared, sounds like something bad is coming. So I'm happy that has switched. And part of it is preparation, right? As I've done hours of that class that I finished last night and took the final exam on it, it really took hours. I didn't think it would take so long, the entire process of that. So doing that gets me more familiarized with the subject. And if I do that, then okay, it's not as scary. I see videos, I read about it, the safety. Okay, that's good. Getting in the pool with my friend Kevin, that helped tremendously. So preparation, and I've always said this, when you're stressed out, you take action toward something, you do something about it, it's amazing how much better you feel. You're not a victim to it, you're making yourself feel better by taking action. So getting in that pool was definitely action. We'll see how it goes today. Okay, I was completely wrong. We're getting in the water today. It was 3 hours of class, now we're on a 1 hour lunch break, and now we got to drive to this location. I got all the gear in my car, and I'm going in the water today. That's fine, no issues. Now, first of all, I forgot to bring shorts because I didn't know we were going in the water, so I had to buy some. I've got some sandals in my car, so I'm okay there. Here's the issue though. I found out we have a swim test today. The test is swim 200 meters straight without stopping. That's number one. And number two, I've got to do 10 minutes of treading water without stopping. I've never swam more than 50 meters straight without stopping. I've never treaded water for more than like a couple minutes. So this is for me an extreme challenge. I know for most people this seems normal. I'm in shape, I should be able to do these things, but when I get in the water, I start thinking and the breathing speeds up and I run out of oxygen. So we'll see what happens. It's done. I don't have any footage of it because there's no way to hold the camera while we're doing the swim tests, but 25-meter pool, there and back 4 times, so 8 times, it's 200 meters or yards, I don't know which one it was. And the 10 minutes of treading water, I'm very shocked to say I was able to do it. It was an experience like I was dying. It's kind of like panic while I was doing it. You know, you hear about people saying they have panic attacks, they get really stressed out. And if that's not one of your things, you think they're crazy. Well, I don't get panicked about too many things in my life, but this right here, water and the ocean, I definitely do. And I understand those might be unrealistic, but when you're in that moment and in that mindset, they are realistic to the person. At least they are to me. All right, happy to say I passed that. Next part is putting on the gear and start playing underwater. This is where I spent the day today, from 9 to 5 p.m. Unexpected, because I didn't think we were going to do the pool, but it's worked out. Unfortunately, I had a great instructor. Tomorrow we go out in the ocean. On my way, I'm not going to lie, a couple of times I thought, you know what, I already beat some of the scariest parts of water for me, which were swimming for a while, longer than I ever have, and I did that yesterday, as well as treading water for 10 minutes. So on my way right now, as I'm driving to the dive shop to then go to the ocean, I'm thinking, you know what, I don't need to do this. I could spend the day with my family. What am I doing? I could just turn around and go home and have a great day, work out, maybe have breakfast with the family. Yeah, I'm not going to quit. Another beautiful South Florida sunny day. It's going to be hot, and we're at the dive shop, Aquatic Ventures. No turning back now. Here we are. It's game time. It's game day. It's morning of the first dive day, and yeah, I'm excited. Like I said before, heart races a little bit every time I think about this, and I got up in the middle of the night a couple of times thinking about just being deep in the water, looking up, it's a little bit far, looking down, seeing there's farther to go, animals in the water, whatever it may be. Let's do it. All I could think of as we walked to the water is all the things that could go wrong. I kept thinking, well, I lose my oxygen down there. I hope I can kick up on time to get out of it. What's it look like down there? What's it feel like? Are there sharks? That was a big fear.
It matches underwear. The grippy socks.
Kept wondering about the wildlife, barracudas, sharks. I know they're out there. I don't know what it's like to be that close to one without being on the safety of a boat, but rather to be right there with them in their territory. That's really the number one fear that I had at this moment as we walk toward that water.
Just kidding, be careful.
So we're in the water, we swam out as far as we needed to go. We're just above the coral reef. Got all of our instructions again and ready to go down and descend into the bottom of the ocean, at least at 20-something feet to begin with. And that's what we did. We went down. We got lucky that it was an absolutely beautiful, clear day. Current was gentle, and we could see about 30 feet. So we went down there, went through our drills, and it just, we had to focus. That's the good thing. The instructor had us focusing on the things we had to do. You lose your regulator and you can't breathe, you got to recover it. Show the instructor that you know how to do that through the things that we've learned. Your mask gets kicked off and you got to put it back on and blow out all the water so you can see again. And we went through all those drills, and it was a good way to start, because otherwise the mind would have raced too much. Once we were done with all the drills, it was time to resurface, regroup up there, debrief on what went down at the bottom, and now brief on our next step. It was kind of going on a adventure, just to go explore the coral reef and see the wildlife. Got to see lobsters, some beautiful fish, and plants. was unreal to be in this group of people. You got each other's back. You've definitely got a dive buddy, and you keep checking each other out. You turn around and make sure he's there at all times. And it's amazing. I've actually formed relationships with some of these people now, and I'm happy to say you've built a bond with somebody when you got each other's back underwater. Something I would have never imagined. I thought you were just there for survival, and I was more worried about making sure he's okay, and he's probably worried about me that I'm okay. And that takes some of the anxiety off, because we're not worrying about ourselves and our fears now. You're worrying about taking care of someone else. It's a beautiful thing. Well, it's done. I did it. I dove underwater. I didn't die. Here I am. I'm happy about it. I still think about it and I get excited, and can't believe I did it. So there'll be more adventures. I'm going to dive more. I don't know that I'm going to do this every weekend or anything, but this is a stepping stone to the next thing and the next thing, and to continued growth. So it's a good example for my kids, because now they saw me do this, and they saw that I was very scared of something. They saw the evolution of the thoughts going through it, the preparation, and then they see the success on the other side. So for them, I feel like I've created a good example of, okay, well, here's a deficiency that I have. I'm going to work at it. I'm going to get better. But more importantly, it's a signal that I send to myself is things aren't going perfect. There's this issue. How can I work through it and get past it? So now I want to look for more things that I could go on to. What's the next thing and the next thing? And I hope you'll stay tuned and watch my next adventure whenever that comes up. So the key lesson here is we all have fears, or we all have situations that we're scared to tackle. Maybe it's a tough conversation. Maybe it's a big decision you have to take in your life, and you've been putting this off. I hope this inspires you to at least start the preparation process and taking the steps, and hopefully talking to somebody. Talk to a coach, a friend, and start working on that and getting better every day.